Hey, what's up? It's Adam Smith from the CommanderSmiths, and it is Proxy Time Live. This week, working on Vampiric Tutor. Last week, I did miss. I had a family thing with funeral and all that stuff, so I did not get a chance to get this. So this is the last in the line of doing the X-Men altar arts here. So we did the podcast of each one of these, how to fight, certain things. Now we're finishing up with Vampiric Tutor. I have some good ones lined up for next week. I think I have a good idea for next week. But this week, working with Vampiric Tutor. So there's a couple things here. Kind of put it out to the Discord, and I think Mister Sinister is the one I'm going to use here. So this is more of a cartoon kind of art here that I want to use here with Mister Sinister and Apocalypse in the background. So that's the first one I'm going to work on. The next one is actually I did a little tweaking already to this. So this one I think fits kind of perfectly. If you look at this, we have this nice skull here that's kind of like the newer Vampiric Tutor art has that skull with that. So I was like, oh, that one would be sweet. I did tweak it a bit and add more color already because I wanted to see if this is what I wanted to use. And I think this might be my main squeeze on this one. I think this is the one I'm going to like more. There's a lot more going on with this. You got Wolverine's mask right here. I think this overall is a better one, but I'm going to use both of these. So I'm just going to start with this one first. So first things first, let's start highlighting stuff here. If you haven't had a chance to look at all the other ones, check those out. I did all X-Men series stuff. Now we'll be getting off of X-Men here for a bit to give you kind of a spoiler. Now this will be, next week will probably be the first time that I do a Proxy time video, I should say. I've done proxies of cards I haven't owned before, but then I eventually owned them. I don't think I'm ever going to own this card because of it's going to be Black Lotus. And the only reason is because of the new Modern Horizons 2 stuff. And is it Garth? I think Garth, where he makes a token copy or makes a copy of either Shivan Dragon, Black Lotus, Disenchant, Regrowth, Brain Geyser, and there's one more. What is it? I don't remember exactly the last one, but I'm going to make a Black Lotus because you kind of need it for that card. So I'm actually really excited to work on that. So that'll be next week. So if you're watching this and you want to see the most expensive card for Magic be made, that will happen next week. And if you have your own copy of Black Lotus, well,
oh, good.
You deserve an oh, good for you, because that is pretty amazing. And then you can start using the proxies after we're done here. So make sure everything's right there. I think we're good. I do want Apocalypse to be in this, so we're going to come shift this down a little bit. May even use this band here to kind of take over the box. Let's make it so I can see through a little bit. Okay, so we can probably have this arm come through. Come over the top of the box. I might shift this down a little bit more. Planning this out a little bit ahead of time. This is probably where I'm going to use the CommanderSmith logo. So I do want that visible. So I may have this hand come through the instant part and make this part a little bit more visible. And I'll we'll get to that part when we get there. But I think this arm's coming through. This is also coming to the foreground. Everything else will stay behind there. So, okay, I think that's where I want it. Let's get to cropping this bad boy. All right. Yeah, so last week was the first week I've missed since I started doing the proxy time on a regular basis. And like I said, I had my grandpa passed away, so I had to fly down to Florida. And I got back on Thursday, but man, we had like 3 hours of sleep, and it just wasn't going to work out. So I was like, oh, I can skip 1 week and get back on things. So the bonus to this is, if you haven't listened to the podcast yet, or you don't listen to the podcast and you just watch these videos, I'm going to provide all these in digital form. So you'll be able to see these. If you want to use these for your own proxies, we'll have it on Twitter. So you can actually use all that stuff. So we're going to bring this all the way up. I want to make these lines a little more solid here. All right. Now I could, let's check and see what happens with this highlight here. If it picks up enough of his arm. Yeah. Yep, it's going to be good there. Very good, very good. Now, if you didn't get a chance to listen to the episode, you got to have tutors if you want to have a pretty solid deck and all that. If you want to be able to get to what your combo is or whatever you're planning on doing. Personally, Lowry and I do not use tutors because we just want to make the games a little more random. So actually what that does is it makes it so that we build the decks to have more consistency. Not saying tutors, you don't need to use them. It's just I don't typically use them. But if you are, this is one you probably want to have. This is one of the better ones. And right now with the price being low because it just came out, definitely pick this card up. And then get yourself a proxy by becoming a patron. Or use the digital image yourself, and then you don't even have to do any of that. You can just use that. You can take it right from Twitter. All right, so let's back it up, see how that looks. I want to bring this up to what it's going to be at 70. Yeah, that looks pretty sweet, having his arm come through. Next, it's not going to make sense with him being on the foreground and Apocalypse being in the background, but I really want you to see, because if I go to 70 here, I guess you can kind of ominously see that he's there. We may leave that alone because of that. Because if I'm only making parts of this, like we ran into incidents with the Triumph of the Hordes, it just looked better having your depth of field, having what's in front and what's in back, having the text box being on its own plane. So if I bring Apocalypse in, then you're breaking the laws of the text box and the title are not on the same plane anymore. Let's hit this up right here. There we go. Also, if you guys aren't listeners of the podcast, oops. We do have the Salty 64 going on right now, so you want to go check that out. That's where we're voting on the saltiest cards in Commander. There is a chance to win. Actually, it's a Expropriate and Static Orb, and that's just you choosing what you think is the saltiest card. And if that card makes it to the end, you could win those in the drawing at the end. But anyways, I like voting on stuff. So if you want to vote, check out Twitter, CommanderSmith, and actually voting right now is going for the next 5 days. Okay, so what I had mentioned here is I want his hand to come through, but we got to make sure that it makes sense. So let's just look and see. Let's have his hand there. Finger there. Shrink this up a little bit. So this is going to kind of come like squeeze in between the text boxes, which will look kind of sweet, actually. All right, yeah. I like how that's turning out. Looks pretty sweet. I said that I would like the other one better, but I'm liking how everything's positioning itself here. All right, so one other thing. Because remember I said I wanted to do the CommanderSmith logo right in there. If I do that, it's going to be partially in behind that text box. So I'm going to use the little fuzzy thing, and we're going to we brought this down to 70. So I'm going to kind of make that come through a bit. There we go. There. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So we're kind of bringing a little bit to the foreground. Actually, 100% once I'm clicking it and letting it go. But with that fuzzy, it's not making such a solid line. So that's what this is. It's like a spell or whatever he's casting. Lightning. I'm not sure. I didn't need to do any fixing with this one because it was Commander Legends, and those text boxes actually came through pretty sharp there. So the only thing I wanted to get rid of was the logo of that, just to kind of, that's just my little preference there. So we're going to stamp this, and then we're going to come over here, get a little bigger, make it easy on ourselves. Oops. Into that. Stamp it again a little higher so I can get that bottom part. What you doing right there? What is that little guy? It's because I was too high there. There. Okay. I got rid of that. Now we jump into the logo. This one's going pretty dang quick here. What are we at even for time? What am I at? I want to see. We're doing that one. Oh, I didn't even have a timer going on that. What are we at? Oh, 10 minutes. Okay. That's not too bad. I just had to check the time on that. That's not bad at all, actually. That's my typical. A fast one is 10 minutes. A complicated one gets to 20. All right, let's get back to that. Shrink it up. Gonna make it fit in his hand. Maybe I might turn it a little bit. Not in his hand. We're gonna have it in that ball there. We're really gonna fade this out. And there. Maybe even a little bit more. I don't want it to be super noticeable. Okay. Dope. All right. See? Simple. First one done. Now the second one's faster because I have everything already highlighted. So let me get rid of the old one. So see that color? Just very bland. So I kind of fast forwarded on this part by bringing the color in. I just wanted to check and see if that would actually work. And we'll bring that in there. This one's a little bit more narrow. So we're not going to be able to expand too much. We got to decide where we're stopping and going. I definitely want the whole skull in there. So it could only go just a little bit wider. Okay, edges are fine there. Let's bring this one down. Okay, so if I cut here, I really want that skull mostly in there. Yeah, because what I'll do is have... if I come through here, you see most of what the skull is there. We get this. Just trying to visualize. You don't really need Apocalypse's hands in there. So I think that's fine there. It's more of Mister Sinister. Mister Sinister is the tutor of this. Why are you saying boo? Why are you saying boo, guy? Let's see here. I'm thinking right about there, and I do want Wolverine's mask to kind of come through here. So there's a few things, but that won't make sense either because this seems behind Apocalypse. If I brought Wolverine to the foreground, then I should be bringing all Apocalypse to the foreground, which actually I could do because he is taken up a lot of the box. We all know what Vampiric Tutor does, but he could come to the foreground, and then I bring this through. Let's do it this way. All right, so we're gonna crop this bad boy. Crop it. This isn't gonna be interesting. Right about there. Problem is, I really do want to get that skull in there, but I don't want to erase the casting cost. Hiding around the corner is trying to scare you. Who's hiding around Who's hiding around the corner? Oh, you're saying Mark. You're saying Guy was doing. I get it. A little slow to the party there. All right, I get you. It was a surprise attack, sneak attack. All right, so stamp, get that going. I think I know. I think Apocalypse has to come through. Let's get him highlighted quick. Oh, that's I don't want that to go all the way there. There we go. I'm not sure if this is going to work the way I want it to, but we'll see. I don't like hiding a crap ton of the text box unless it's a known card, which Vampiric Tutor technically is. Let's see how this looks. Sloppily painting this. Okay. This actually might look really sweet. Let's bring everything up to where it's got to be, 70%. His arm's got to come through too, because that'd just be weird if his arm disappeared. And we get rid of this. Oh, it does look really sweet, because then I'd also bring this. Problem is, then we kind of get into a bunch of shenanigans, because you're going to come through here with this. I guess I don't have to. That could be because it's going behind him. We can leave that alone, because what I was going to say, we get into shenanigans here is when it hits there. And then we could think that this arm is coming forward enough that the Wolverine mask comes over here. I think that'll work. I mean, come on. I have one that barely has any text box covered. So that's one there. This one, we're covering the whole effing thing. Yeah, let's do it. Doing it. All right. So I do want this flame work here. It's pretty solid lines. So I don't think I do the... Normally, if it was real flames, like how people do it, I would actually add the fuzzy one. Shenanigans. You don't like shenanigans, Steven? I use that word quite a bit. I always have to spell it. Like, I have to do the spell check thing if I'm ever writing it. Sometimes I have to do it with the voice thing. I'm like, I don't even know how to spell shenanigans. Let's just voice it. All right. I wouldn't say I use it a ton, but I do use that word on occasion. All right, get that down there. Nope, went out of the line. Zoom out. I'm going to zoom in. Shrink things up. And I don't like what happened there. Now that I'm closer. There we go. Actually, I think I could highlight this one to get this. Yep. Looks like it's going to catch it. The background's different enough that it's going to pick up where the flames are. So this will make it a little bit easier. Yep. All right. So the flames there. I kind of wish it did have fuzzy flames here, because then I do like using that tool a bit more. Oh, shoot. Wait, what do we have highlighted here? Did it do in here? Yes, it did. Alt it. Oh, I want it to. Okay, there we go. So I alted it, brought it back. That's how we get that filled in. All right, so now we jump back to our other layer and start filling this whole thing in. Flame comes down there. Okay. That's all good there. Zoom out. Let's deselect so we can kind of see how everything looks there. All right. I think that looks good. So next is Mister Sinister holding Wolverine's mask. And that might be it on this one. Yes, not until next month. Yep. And I don't even know what I've made the cutoff last. Yeah, I guess it would have still been if I would have done my proxy time from last week on time and didn't have all that stuff going on, it still would have been for this month. So yeah. But I will make this one, unlike Triumph of the Hordes, I wasn't a fan of. We're gonna alt this, get that filled there. I'll probably have both of these proxies available as well. Okay, so I think that's everything there. Nope, a little bit there. All right, let's bring that up. Use the flames there as well. I'll get his fist coming through there too. See how much easier that is instead of having to draw those lines. Cheater! All right, I want that fist. Nope, that isn't all fist there. Well, I got a little more gray there. Okay, there. A little bit of gray there. I should be making this a little more see-through and make it easier on myself. You know, I don't like this. Just looks ridiculous. So we're getting rid of that. It doesn't need to even be in there. Just trying to see my lines here. So there's a straight across there. And we'll get a little closer on this right there. See, I'm getting a little outside the line there just to kind of highlight it. I've been doing that a little bit more often lately to highlight where our end of that is. There we go. All right, so we got that there, that there, that. All right, let's zoom out and check it out. Oh, yeah. Oh, that looks sweet. Okay. So I don't think I'm going to mess with this at all. I wanted to. We're at 73, 70%. There is no stopping point is the problem up there. And especially with that skull being in the absolute background and then having that be in the front just wouldn't make sense. And you need all Mister Sinister stuff in the front. I think just by having Apocalypse in the foreground is probably good enough. Yeah, I think so. And we're at 20 minutes right now. That's not too bad. All right. So then the last part, let's add where the CommanderSmith logo goes. And this one's going to be pretty similar. Actually, I was originally thinking of throwing it in the eye there. But I don't think I'm going to do it. I think it might still do another hand thing here because we can do some kind of unique stuff with that. So both of them are going to be dealing with him, Mister Sinister, holding it in his hand. I'm getting blown up on my watch, and I was like, what the heck is it? I need to look at it just in case it's something with the kids. Because my phone is my camera, so I don't have anything warning me except for my watch there. Okay, so I don't want to keep it level like that, so we're going to have it kind of turned here. We are definitely going to make it fit. What's the best way? Maybe his fingers there. Okay, I like how that... See how this is kind of curved like that? It almost has a feel that he's holding something there. So we're going to do that right there. And then we need to see through so we can start bringing stuff to the foreground. And bring the stamp tool back. Everything's in the right spot. So let's get his finger here. Get rid of that. I need this a little bit. Oh, actually, that's not bad. I might not need to do much more with that. What I was thinking is actually this finger here. Let's try it and see how it looks. Kind of like it's rested on the other side of it, like it's between his fingers there. Oh yeah, that looks better. Then it's almost like he's holding the ball. Yeah. If I had Lowry here, where there'd be a lot of dirty jokes there. All right, so that's, and I think I might leave it at that level. I know it's a little brighter than let's check it a little lower. Because I want him to look like he's actually holding that. Okay. Dude, I think that's it. So that's Vampiric Tutor. We got two of them. Two. That one and that one. I don't know which one I actually like better. They're both. This one turned out, I liked this one more than I thought I was going to like it. And I knew I was going to like this one. This one takes up a lot of the cards. So if you don't know, if your playgroup doesn't know Vampiric Tutor, don't play with this one as much because you still won't know what the card does. But this one you can see pretty much everything on that card. So that's what she said. Nice. I just saw your that's what she said. All right. So that is Vampiric Tutor. That finishes the X-Men series of the proxies here. So like I said, next week is going to be Black Lotus. Hopefully, I'm hoping I can get to that one. And that's going to be fun because I know a lot of people it's never been on my radar to even make that one because I don't even own it. And I will never own that card. But because of that Garth card, I will make that proxy because lots of people are going to play with that. So if you haven't had a chance, like I mentioned earlier, check out the Salty 64. Voting is now. I'll just show you that on Twitter. You can check us out, CommanderSmiths, at CommanderSmiths, and then the Salty 64. That's going on. So get on there and vote. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel. That should be it for this week. I will catch you next week. We'll see you. Psych up!